Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with ReadyNet Solutions. Today's host is Bill Pedersen, and he is their Voice Product Director, and he will be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Bill will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Bill, thank you so much for being with us today. We greatly appreciate it. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you, Julie. Greatly appreciate that warm introduction, and welcome everyone to today's webinar. As Julie mentioned, I'm Bill Pedersen. I am the Voice Product Director here at ReadyNet Solutions, and we got some good things to talk about today, and what we're seeing in the markets, and how maybe you can take advantage of this, what I would call a very unique opportunity to add more revenue to your portfolio, and hopefully we'll engage in some questions and dialogues at the end. If you do have any questions, feel free to type those in, or we'll definitely have a Q&A at the end of this presentation. We're going to talk about some changes that have happened, but before I get to those changes, I've got our ReadyNet Solutions website up online. If there's any time you have any questions or concerns about products, you can go to our website, pull up products. We also have our solutions page as well, and also our support page for our products. And like always, you can always hit the Contact Us button. You've got sales support, you got customer support, customer service support, and also engineering support. How many companies throw out engineering email addresses so you can reach out actually to the product engineers, design engineers of our products if you've got a very unique question, or maybe you have an application that is unique, that you might want to do a custom project on. Here at ReadyNet Solutions, we do a lot of private label products for companies like yourselves that allow you to kind of lead out with your customers with a custom product for your applications. So with that, let's go in and talk about some of the changes, and this we're just going to touch on lightly, but this is from the FCC website not too long ago. Well, it's been a couple of years. FCC proposed a ruling to adopt into new technologies such as voice over IP, and by doing this, it would then cause, basically carriers could not, or there wouldn't be a need to support the traditional POTS line or the plain old telephone service lines in those markets. And it's really caused a lot of questions in the industry, and concern, and in a way there's been some panic too. So this announcement came out back in 2017. The date that they wanted to act on this was August of this year. And so now, as of August this year, carriers do not need to support POTS lines. And so in new developments, new buildings, they're not going to be running copper lines into these facilities for these voice services. Now, how does that impact us? How does that impact your customer? What opportunities have been created because of this? Well, there's a lot of infrastructure that's still in place. And when I say carriers don't have to support lines, they're not just randomly going out and just shutting people off. That's not the case, but they are not. For customer support, technical support, it's a little bit challenging from what I'm hearing in the market. Of course, we can't order new lines, so how do we deal with services that require these types of lines for communication? And I've even heard in some markets on the East Coast area where phone lines are increasing in cost. We can all speculate why they're trying to increase costs. Maybe that's their way of forcing customers to adopt to the voice over IP platform and to provide those services. But I do know in our market here, I was talking to a customer not too long ago where they said, yeah, we can bring in voice over IP to provide, or these ATAs to provide voice over IP to connect to your equipment. But in order to do that, we want to bring in a separate internet circuit as well. So they want to have a dedicated internet circuit just to provide these voice over IP services. And so by the time we peeled the onion back, the cost was such, it was pretty expensive. And so they're now looking at ReadyNet and ReadyNet partners to provide these services. Now, what makes our product and service very unique is that let me just pull this up real quick. I do have this slide here that we're going to talk about. This is the LTE 520S, and I'm going to see if I can just shrink that down just a little bit so we can see a little bit more of the product and the name there. But this is the LTE 520S. This is a 2-port ATA managed LTE router. And this is really taking off by storm because it provides accomplishes a number of things. And I'll see if I can go through these in a clear manner. And if I mess it up, I apologize. Stop me at the end and we'll go over any questions that you have. Basically, this router is a 4-port LAN WAN interface and an LTE interface with Wi-Fi. And it's got dual ATA ports on the back. It's really not that big. It's a form factor wise, it's fairly small. But what people like about these is that I can go in and connect this to my existing internet connection. I don't have to have a dedicated internet service if I don't want it, but I can have an existing, I can connect this to my existing internet. Secondly, it does have LTE in it. So if my primary internet goes down, I can fail over to my LTE internet and keep data, keep my services operational. Now, why is that important? In talking with a lot of management service providers and carriers, they really like this feature because when they go in and install these, especially in new applications where building inspectors are jumping in and getting involved, maybe we can talk a little bit about the applications. These can be used for elevator voice lines. Okay, I'm providing a dial tone for the elevator line in case there's an emergency. If my primary internet goes down, it fails over to LTE, which is probably good. My wife would be very happy to know that there's a backup if she's ever stuck in the elevator. Secondly, if it's a POS application, instead of losing business because I cannot process credit cards applications, I can now fail over to LTE. I can still process those sales. So depending on the application where it's being done, we have these plugged into, give you an example, fax lines, access control systems. And what I mean by an access control system is you might be in a gated community or a gated building where they need a voice line in order to enter into the building. Okay, it's a great solution for that. Secondly, elevator lines. I can't tell you the number of these devices that are going in elevator applications right now. Alarm lines. We just had one installed here in Salt Lake City at a school, a new school, and we plugged it in. I got a phone call the next day saying, hey, just so you know, we had a false alarm, but our alarm went off for a fire at this new school. And it communicated perfectly with the monitoring service company. They couldn't have been more ecstatic. Now, what makes this product even that much better is the price of this router is so cost effective that it's really a win-win for everyone. And we're starting now to see companies bundle this product with their SIP services, a failover data plan, and a little small UPS for businesses, and they're doing this very well, being very successful in doing this. So a great way to increase revenue, increase stickiness with your customers. You know, I don't know if it's a wave that's going to come from east to west, but even here in the mountain region, we have the primary carrier, Lumen, here is making changes as well. And so it's something that is being talked about. But, you know, talk to building management companies, you know, what are they doing for elevators? What are they doing for alarms? You know, you can still bring a service to your customers that is very cost effective for them and very profitable to your bottom line. So a great product. Now, what's Bill Pedersen been doing in the last year? You know, we've added some neat features to this product as well too. In fact, we're about ready to release a firmware date as of November 9th, 2022 of this recording that will allow you to do IP pass-through. So if you have a static SIM card that you want to use, that'll allow you to capture a MAC address on the LAN side and now allow you that access to log into that device remotely. And so not only do we provide those management capabilities, but we also provide management for this router by itself also through RN control. And you can reach out to ReadyNet for more information on that. So fully manageable with remote management. We support these eSIMs. If you're not familiar with what an eSIM is that they are what I would call carrier agnostic. Your service provider can set those eSIMs up to either work on Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T. So if you have a large deployment of these, and maybe your footprint's such that, you know, maybe one carrier has a better footprint or coverage in an area better than another, you can switch the services on the back end, and this router will acknowledge that. Also, for AT&T, what is it? FirstNet. It is FirstNet compatible or FirstNet ready as well. So for those emergency bands, and from what I understand, AT&T is being a little bit more open with who can actually have these services. I don't think they went as well or sold as well as they thought they would. But these devices are FirstNet ready as well. So you can provide some features with that. And here's those bands that we're talking about. Whoops, I don't want to highlight that much. But band 14 is the big one with AT&T that allows for that. And then here's just some other connectivity applications that you can use. Do see a lot of this. We do support T.38 for fax, and I've done faxing over this device on net and off net with various service providers, BroadSoft, Meta, Silhouette, a number of different Asterisk platforms that are out there, and it does very well, and it transmits over LTE as well. So a couple of things that we don't provide that you need to keep in mind when you do this product service. We provide the hardware. We don't want to be carrier specific on the SIP services for voice over IP. So we've made it so if you have your own server, great. You can, test it, work with it on your own network, and shouldn't have any problems. We also, if you need to go to a third party, a BroadSoft or one of these others, Cisco, I should say now, you should be fine with working that. And if you need some assistance in getting this product approved with your third party service provider that you're wholesaling your services from, let us know. We'll work with them to get this onto that list. But if you select general SIP, generic SIP interface for the device, you'll be perfectly fine. And then also the last piece of it is the LTE data plan for the failover. So there's a lot of companies that are out there. Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, you can go to them directly. You can go to Core, you can go to Advantic. There's a number of them that have these smart SIMs available as well also that you can have. I know FlowLive is another company that we're working with, and we're working with Core. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, there's a number of them. So, and I like that option personally. I really like the ability to just pop this SIM in. I've got my APN in. It's ready to go. I drop ship it to the customer. If there's a connectivity issue, you can work with your service provider on the back end, and they can switch carriers for you and have it set for that device. So now, one other thing, one of the things I was teasing about was some of the things that I've been working on this last year, and I'm going to pop this up. We're expecting to release this this winter. And so I'm hoping to have this available at the first of the year. In fact, we just finalized the firmware on this as of this week, but this is our GSX 1204. This is the granddaddy, the mother of mothers for ATAs. This is a 4-port ATA here, and also gig ports on the WAN-LAN interface. We also have an SFP interface on it, and we have dual SIMs. It's kind of hard to see those SIM cards there, slots, but there's dual SIMs on this device. So with a static SIM or a primary SIM, you can backdoor into this router to manage it. And then it's got AC Wi-Fi on this thing. So this is a really nice device that will be kind of your gateway to the small office, home office, kiosk, where you just need a little bit more than what the LTE. The LTE 520S is a great router, but it does have some limitations on it. But this one, now you can go in, I need more ATAs, I've got that covered. I need gig speeds, I want gig ports to cover my interfaces for my gig services, I've got that. SFP interface, if I have an SFP. Inbound and outbound, I'm actually testing some new SFP coaxial modules on this thing. So you could put this into an existing hotel and distribute Ethernet over coax within the building that has coaxial infrastructure. And then, of course, we've got the dual SIM, so we've got primary and a backup SIM as well. So maybe a good example is maybe they use quite a bit of data services on their SIM cards, and so instead of buying, two, oh, this is going to be horrible, but use it as a number, two 10 gig data plans. I could have maybe a 10 gig and a 5 gig, or I can mix and match those and use them accordingly. So data plans change a lot. So I hate to use that as an example, but that was kind of the thought process on it. Or maybe one's a Verizon card, one's an AT&T card. So you can get creative as all you want on this. So, but yeah, we're very excited. If you are interested in this, make sure you reach out to your Microcom sales partner and mention this, because I've got a limited number of units that are coming in, kind of seeding the market. And then if you want to be part of that and you think you've got some great applications, we're seeing a lot of this being used in government, public spaces. And I'm not sure why. I think it's mostly for the ATA part, but we're way excited about that. Okay, Julie, I kind of went over a couple of minutes, but that's what I have for my presentation as of today. Let me just cover one more thing before you jump in. If there's anything that you need in regards to support, you can always go to readynetsolutions.com, go to the, I'll just pull up a 520S here. You can get all the information about the products. We've got our data sheets. We've got a link directly to our support page. Our support page gets you the manuals, install guides, provisioning information, AT&T information, firmware information, and can walk you through a few things as well also. So we're getting better on our website, and it's used quite often. So with that, Julie, I'll turn the time back over to you for any questions that you might have on your end.
Thank you so much, Bill, and thank you for showing us right then and there different places to go on your website, because that's a very popular question, and everyone likes to know. We can go there to find, like you said, customer service, tech support, product information support. Thank you so much for all of that. Very valuable information. And of course, we do have questions for you. We always like to know, and you could cover this for us now, about the warranties on your devices. Can you tell us about your warranties?
Yeah, so our warranty has a 12-month warranty against defects or workmanship on that. And so if you have an issue, it's within that 12-month, you can reach out to your Microcom, to work an RMA, and they'll contact us, and we'll try to probably even reach out to see if we can troubleshoot the problem as well. Also, one of the great things with ReadyNet, our return rate is extremely low. So usually but it does happen every once in a while. It does happen. So, but we'll work with you on returns, and if we need to, we'll set up an RMA, get you an advanced replacement, or bring it in and we'll take a look at it. If it is deemed defective, and we'll send you a replacement unit. If it's something we can fix, we'll fix it and send it back out as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. Next question here. Will the 4G LTE devices support all SIM cards for the U.S.?
Yes. Yes, they will.
Okay. Excellent. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Also, let's see, regarding the 4G LTE devices. Those devices only support U.S. SIM cards, or are they open to all networks?
Well, they're the standard SIM card that is used for all devices. So now we use the standard, it's almost like a postage stamp size SIM card. If a SIM card does, if you get micro or mini, I think they're called mini SIM cards, we do have adapters that we can send out to you. So you can use those in the router. You can buy them off Amazon for $1, I think. But yeah, we do support the standard SIM card. But if you do have the smaller one, we do have adapters here we could send you.
Excellent, thank you. The next question is, and you may have answered this for us already, but if you don't mind, we could touch on it again. Does this work with all carriers?
Yes. Yeah, it covers all the bands. I'll just pull that up here real quick again. It was a PDF here. But yeah, these are the bands that we cover. Now you'll notice there's integrated 3G on these modems as well too. We primarily only support 4G in the markets. Now there's some devices in Canada that still operate 3G, but most 3G towers in the US, if they haven't been turned off yet, they're going to be really, really soon. So the main emphasis is going to be on 4G LTE, and there's the bands that we cover: 2, 4, 5, 12, 13, 14, 25, 26, 66, 71. And those are the main bands with AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile.
Excellent, thank you, Bill. And I think you may have just answered this next question. It says here, will your LTE 5.2OS support bandwidth aggregation?
Great question. So we do not do bandwidth aggregation, and what that question is in regards to is basically aggregating different bands for faster throughput, both in transmit and receive on the LTE. So this LTE modem that we use is what they call a Cat4 modem, and its speeds are I want to say 150 down and 50 megs up. And we are looking at doing Cat6 and 5G products. Those will be future announcements that do carrier aggregation for those faster throughputs.
Thank you very much, Bill. Yeah, oh, great, thank you. And here's the next question. Will the LTE, 5.2OS be connected to a power bank if using the correct AC cable?
Repeat that one more time for me, Julie. I want to make sure I got that. I think I understand.
Sure, no problem. Will the LTE 5.2OS be connected to a power bank if using the correct AC cable?
Well, I'm going to do my best. So the 520,
okay.
Yeah, the 520S input is actually a DC input. It's 12 volts at 2 amps. And so if someone wants to connect this to an AC distribution panel, you basically take that wall wart and apply it to that distribution panel. And I think what they're doing is they're asking for is if a UPS or a power distribution system. And so that's how you would do that. Now, there are companies out there, you can buy a little miniature UPS. It's just I can't remember, I think it's a 10,000 amp hour UPS. No, not 10,000 amp hour, 10,000 milliamp hour UPS that would basically run this router I've run them here in the lab here for up to 8 hours without power. And so if you want more information, just reach out to your Microcom representative. They can contact me and I can send them the link on that. You can get them off Amazon, and we see a lot of companies using these things. So if in case there is a power outage, they have this UPS tied to it, and it'll support this for 6 to 8 hours with no problem.
Thank you so much, Bill. Just a couple of questions left here for you. Next one, would you be able to cloud manage the LTE 520 or any LTE 500 model?
Yes. So we do that with this product, the 520. We use a program called RN Control, which is a web-based management program that you can sign in and you can assign devices to a customer, however, through a billing code or a name or whatever, and then add in the MAC and serial number. And then when you plug in that device, you can then see it online and remotely manage it and make changes to it. For our LTE 500 product, a little different product, we use a program called Nexus, and it is basically the same thing. You can remotely manage and see usage, you can see connectivity, you can provision the LTE routers remotely. So yeah, we do offer remote management. There is a cost associated to remote management. It's very cost effective, though. Don't let that scare you. And we do have the ability to allow our customers to kind of test drive the remote management portal, so you can have up to 20 devices connected to it before billing kicks in. So if you want to get familiar with it, reach out to your Microcom representative, and we'll reach out to you and connect you and get you the credentials you need to do that.
Thank you so much, Bill, for that deep, very valuable. Let's see, last question here for you. Can the elevator and the VoIP work off one device connected to an existing network?
One more time, Julie. I want to make sure I got that one right. So,
no problem. Can the elevator and VoIP work off one device connected to an existing network?
Yes. I believe the way I understand that is you want to provide your own SIP trunking services on this device, but connect this LTE router to your own network and have it register and provision that way. And the answer is yes. Now, I do have, depending on service providers and what their requirements are for VoIP, sometimes they require, an IP address from the carriers, the SIP service carriers. So you just be prepared. You can look that up. What is my IP? Provide that to your SIP service provider, and they'll put that in. It's just a security measure to make sure that the device hasn't been hijacked or moved to another location. But yes, you can do that with your own network.
Bill, thank you so much for the questions for us. And thank you to everyone for attending. And if anyone has any further questions, of course, feel free to your sales rep, or you can email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of these products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And please remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. Bill, thank you so much for this presentation today and your time. Microcom greatly appreciates you, my friend. And until next time with ReadyNet Solutions, have a fantastic day.
Yeah, thank you very much, Julie. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.